What's up, everybody? It's your 5-star realtor, Joshua Ingram, partnered with Page Properties team, brokered by EXP. We're on another episode of the podcast called Dream Builders Podcast. We have a special guest, Dana Ingram, the Executive Director with JC Vision Associates. How you doing, Dana?
I'm fine. How are you? It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome.
Hey.
Good to see you again.
You too.
For sure. And I can't forget my partner and team lead, Bradford Page with Page Properties team.
Always a pleasure, Joshua.
Awesome. Well, just to let y'all know, with JC Vision Associates, they just finished the Fair Housing Month of April. And now we're going to head towards the Home Ownership Month. So, Miss Dana, can you share us your original story with JC Vision, how you became a nonprofit?
Sure. Okay. Approximately 23 or so years ago, my husband and I went ahead and started educating people in the churches about financial literacy. And as that began to evolve, people were getting out of debt. They were paying off their debts. Then they wanted to go ahead and start buying homes. And so as we went into looking at what does it take to buy a home. Now I know what it takes for me to buy a home, but to actually help someone to buy that home, looking at credit, looking at budgeting, looking at all of that, we were able to go ahead and start that process with people. And so as we evolved from buying homes, people were like, well, I didn't like the houses that were on the market. So then they said, can you build a home? So then we went ahead and applied for a grant to go ahead and start building homes for low to moderate income households.
Okay, awesome. Well, just to let y'all know more information about the nonprofit JC Vision Associates, it's actually located in Hinesville, Georgia. Over 20 years of being down there, providing value for the community, correct?
That is correct. And we actually cover all of coastal Georgia, southeast Georgia. We have clients that call us from Atlanta, all the way Macon, all the way from Valdosta. So we actually will open up and provide services across the state of Georgia.
For sure. So, Ms. Ingram, how does JC Vision Associates strive to ensure equal access to financial resources and opportunities for all the residents, from the understanding of the minority community?
Well, we develop services.
Okay.
We develop services such as our low income tax credit service, or actually a low income program service, where we help people resolve issues with the Internal Revenue Service. If you get a letter that's in the mail from the IRS that maybe they said you don't qualify for the child tax credit and all, we will help you resolve that issue for free. So that is economic development financially in your pocket. And so we want to make sure we're there for that. We've also developed programs for first-time home buyers that we provide the counseling, budgeting, and credit review for that. We've also done a Fair Housing Initiative program, as you introduced JC Vision in the beginning.
Yeah, for sure.
People feel like their rights have been violated either by a landlord or a lender or appraisal or anything like that. We will go ahead and do an investigation. We will test that. And then we will go ahead, and if there's evidence to support it, we will file a fair housing complaint to HUD.
For sure. And from all the years of your experience, what are some of the main challenges faced by individuals and communities in Georgia when it comes to achieving economic success?
One, I think, is the biggest challenge is that people ask for help so late. And we're encouraging people when they first, for instance, one of our programs is called Mortgage Help, just like we have the program Tax Help.
Well, they get intimidated. They get that letter from the IRS or they get something from the bank, and they think that that's the sole source, and whatever it says in black and white on that piece of paper is it. And they have no say-so. And it's amazing, it's awesome that you provide them a resource to go to help them navigate through.
Yes, we are the advocate. We are the advocate. So we actually know the lingo. Sometimes when you are talking to maybe the lender and you've missed 1, 2, 3, we have people miss 6 months worth of mortgage payments and they don't understand what the lingo, what does this mean? How do I go ahead and navigate that? That's what we do. We help you, assist you in resolving that issue. I think it's really important that your advocate knows the lingo.
For sure.
And that way, when we're talking to you, we speak a different language, something that you may be able to understand. And then when we talk to the lender, we're talking the lender lingo, so they understand what we're doing for our client.
For sure, for sure. And if I may ask, how, or not how, could you provide an example of a success story when you talk about the certain lingos or projects dealing with JC Vision on helping individuals?
Let me give you an example. So we had a client that came in. He had a mortgage that he was paying on, but it irritated him so much that they still had a deferred payment showing on his mortgage statement. He didn't know what to do. He called the lender. The lender said, "Oh, yeah, you owe that. That is at 0%, but it's still part of your loan." He came into our office and said, "Hey, I have this deferred payment. I've never refinanced. I never asked for a deferred payment. I've never done this." So I asked him, we started investigating. He brought in his bank statements, he brought in some other documentation and all. I was able to go ahead and put a complaint into the Consumer Financial Bureau, Protection Bureau, and say, we need your help, government, to go ahead and investigate this lender regarding this circumstance. Come to find out, the lender had no evidence to show that that was actually a true deferment and he owed that money.
Wow.
So what that meant that it got wiped off. And he was ecstatic that he said, "I've been at this for 2 years trying to get this deferment off. And here I just walk in the door. You immediately got to it and helped me to get that off of there."
What really stands out in our conversation so far to me is you've been doing this for how many years?
Over 20.
And that's amazing. The sad part is that in general, there's not enough people out there doing that because financial literacy is still an area of major concern. People understanding, how to hang on to a house and what to do if they're in trouble. They don't have those answers, so our education has not been there. And you talk about building affordable housing. You've been working on that for 25 years. One project you just told me about, you've been working on for the past 3 years and going through the process, whatever that is. Learning now to kind of shrink down the time frame in the process.
Correct.
And don't let people get in the way of what you're trying to do.
Correct.
But it's amazing because a lot of people are talking about affordable housing like it's a new thing that just started yesterday. And that's how lost we are as a society of affordable housing, and financial literacy is still not something that we've been able to accomplish.
And that's a really good point of us coming into the homeownership month, National Homeownership Month. I think with interest rates that they are right now, I think home buyers do not need to be afraid to go ahead and step out and say, I want to purchase a home. If you look at the difference of what it costs for you to go ahead and rent and that cost for you to own, you will find a significant savings if you own. And I remember when I purchased my first house, my husband and I did, and we were at 7.5%. Of course
I'm a little older. I was double digits.
So you understand. So we've been here before. Not that we couldn't get past all of that. Home ownership is still a valuable wealth building asset. A process that we can possibly use. And I just want to encourage the viewers that look into home ownership, because if you're paying rent, you are owning nothing. You're not owning anything. You are paying somebody else's mortgage. They get to have the tax benefit. They get all the other benefits of you paying that rent payment every single month. It's time for you to go ahead and make that jump and really consider home ownership.
Yeah, I think if you're stable in the area, you got a good job, you're not planning on leaving the area anytime soon, then home ownership's the only way to go. It's funny because some people, they live in apartments and they want to invest in real estate. Like, how about investing in yourself first? You're paying that monthly payment to something, and now you're going to go out and, I'm going to go find a deal and become an investor. Invest in yourself.
Right, and here's the thing, you could do both. Think about
Oh,
this.
amen. Yeah.
If you could get an FHA loan right now, they're saying that they're going to go ahead and allow multi-unit for the first-time home buyer. Meaning that if I found a unit that might be a duplex or a fourplex, I can actually live in one part of the unit and then rent out the other four or other three, other one. And then you could go ahead, you are making money as an investor, but you're also a first-time home buyer.
Yeah.
And that means you have less money that you have to put down.
And talk to me after, because we may have one of those coming up.
Right. Right.
That's awesome. So, how does JC Vision collaborate with other organizations and businesses to maximize the impact and reach to serving the community?
Okay, so we were talking about other agencies. We have other agencies like CCCS of Savannah. They do financial literacy. They do a great job with debt plans, debt management plans. There's Georgia Legal Aid that's here that we're partnered with, especially with the tenant landlord issues. There's United Way that funds helping with utility assistance and all. There's so many other organizations that we have to know this, because when a person comes through our door, there's multi-layers. I could tell you of a client that came in for a mortgage issue, but found out that they haven't paid their taxes for 2 years. So what I did was say, well, before we could really help you with the mortgage issue, because the lender's going to want to see your taxes, we need to go ahead and put you over here at the low income tax clinic program, get those taxes and get you back to filing status, so that then we can take that information to help you with your mortgage issue. So a person can have multi levels, but to answer your question, that's how we go ahead and reach out to the other partners. We have to know what's in our community.
Yeah.
Rental assistance, utility assistance, things like that. People that are facing homelessness. We have to know those services in order to make sure that someone is housed.
For sure, for sure. And how can individuals or organizations support and volunteer or donate to be involved with JC Vision Associates?
Sure, you can contact us on our Facebook page, JC Vision Hinesville. I believe that's the Facebook page. Or you can go to our website, www.jcvision.com. I guess you don't have to say www.
You and I'll keep doing that forever. So
I was trying to show my age. Give our office a call, 912-877-4243. There's many ways that you can give us a call. We are looking for CPAs to help us with our fair housing program. We're looking for CPAs also for our low income tax clinic, enrolled agents. We have a vast number of opportunities for volunteers. We're looking for people to serve as secret shoppers for fair housing. So there's a lot, and that's not a volunteer, that is a paid opportunity. So there's a lot that people can do to say, I want to get involved with JC Vision and advocacy.
For sure, for sure. And maybe this may be the last question, but what advice would you give to listeners who are passionate about making a positive impact in their community, but may not know where to start?
I say start. You can start by research. You can start by volunteering. You could start by getting active with an organization such as ours. Find that thing, that niche that you would love to get involved with, and do it. Because ideas come about once you move forward. If you're just standing still, have you ever heard about a swamp? A swamp stinks. Why? Because the water is stagnant. It's not moving at all. But once you get that water flowing and moving, all of a sudden you might be able to drink that water because it's moving. It's clearing out all the sediments. It's moving. So I encourage people to go ahead, step out, start moving, look into areas that they might want to volunteer and get active with. An advocate is faceless.
For sure. For sure. For sure. Awesome. Awesome. Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dana Ingram, for coming out. Again, our mission is to help buyers, sellers, agents, small businesses, and nonprofits connect to the resources and knowledge to achieving their goals. Again, this podcast is sponsored by Page Properties Team, TheDream E.N.T, Real Estate for a Reason, make real estate fun again. Want to give a special shout out to KGCI Real Estate on Air for collaborating with the Dream Builders podcast nationally on EXP Radio. Thank you so much, Dana Ingram, for coming out, the executive director with JC Vision Associates.
Thank you again. I
Awesome,
appreciate it.
awesome.
Thank you for the
And
opportunity.
founder. No,
And
that's
founder,
awesome.
yeah.
Yes.
For sure, for
Jim
sure.
Ingram Jr. also.
Awesome, awesome. We look forward for y'all to know more about the Home Ownership Month. Hope y'all have a wonderful day, a fantastic week, and I catch y'all on the next episode. Be blessed and be safe. Peace.